So we're gonna have this storm coming in here in the east on Monday, the 6th of January, and right now the storm is over the Pacific, is about to impact the Pacific Northwest. So let's look at how this is gonna evolve over time. We can see our storm over here, and this is the 500 millibar vorticity. Vorticity is kind of a measure of how much the air is like spinning, so it helps us determine where upper level wind features are, such as like low pressures, specifically low pressures, is a very good indicator of them. So up here is our storm that's moving into the coast. This is as of 7 p.m. Eastern today. And we can see it moves onshore, kind of de-amplifies, but then amplifies again with some deep cyclogenesis over Oklahoma and Kansas on Sunday. And this storm is then going to move east, going to drop quite a bit of snow. There's going to be quite a bit of mixing with this storm over the Midwest, southern areas of the Midwest. And then it's going to move into the mid-Atlantic. And when it's moving into the mid-Atlantic on Monday, that's when we have very high uncertainty about what the storm is going to do. And looking at what the storm is going to do, let's take a look at what's going to happen. So different scenarios, basically, if we look at the trend, let's look at the trend from 18Z Monday. Or let's actually look at the trend at basically midnight of Monday. If we look at the storm, previously the models were keeping it pretty far south, but then what happened on yesterday, which was Thursday, the model actually trended quite far north, all of them, especially the GFS. Just watch this feature over here, watch it trend north. And then afterwards they trended back south with it today, and with it being south now, the snowfall totals have also moved south. Now the idea is that this storm, essentially what's going to be happening is that the upper level is going to be de-amplifying. You can see how this kind of curve over here, it flattens out over time. But there will be a surface low pressure associated with it that will be strengthening somewhat. And the problem is that because this is flattening out, the track will be very much flat as well. It will be more like this rather than those like nor'easters that curve up the coast. And this is in part due to both the trough flattening out, but also because of the upper level winds. The upper level jets, the subtropical jet and the polar jet, they aren't really merged as you would see in a nor'easter type pattern. They're still separate, and because of that, the polar jet is just taking this out to sea rather than bringing it up the coast. Now, let's look at the snowfall total potentials from this, and I'll explain them, the different scenarios as we go through. So this is the GFS, and it's imposing a large total over southern Jersey, northern Delaware, northern MD, southern PA. So let's look at the GFS's precipitation and what it's taking the storm. So we take it out of the west, coming in strong cyclogenesis over the plains. And there's going to be a lot of mixing, as I said, with that. But when it comes into the mid-Atlantic, the mixing will start to reduce, but it still will be a problem near the transition line. And we can see this storm has the low pressure centers mainly moving from West Virginia over northern Virginia and then cyclogenesis off the coast. And because this one's further south, you can see how basically areas north of Philadelphia aren't really going to get much if this is the scenario to play out. But you may notice that up here in a general snowstorm type scenario, we have a high pressure over Ontario or Quebec over here, and that high pressure is kind of controlling how far north the low pressures can go and feeding in cold air. Or there usually is a high pressure over here as well. There could be one, but over here there's actually a low pressure. It's a different storm, and our high pressure is all the way over here. So there's no significant high pressure blocking the storm from moving north, but still the models are keeping it south, and this is likely due to the de-amplifying trough. But the effect of there being no high pressures, this storm could theoretically go further north, and that's why we have so much uncertainty with the models not being able to determine how far north the storm is going to go. So that is something to watch for in the future, how the models trend. There could be another potential northward trend as there was yesterday. European model even further south. European model putting the maximum snow totals over the portion of Virginia. I forget what this is called. I apologize. But the portion that's at the bottom of the Delmarva Peninsula. If we want to pull up the Euro, Euro's even further south. Like the low pressure is over southern Virginia. That's where the center is. This is pretty far south. I don't know if it will be that south, but that's still a possibility. Um, Canadian, kind of a middle ground between the American and European, uh, having the highest snowfall totals over Delaware. And in New Jersey, it would be over Cape May and other extremely south parts of Jersey. I'm gonna pull up the icon model. Icon pretty similar to the Canadian. Pull up the UK Met. The UK's model pretty similar to the Euro. So really, the biggest question here is where does this low pressure set up? Now, the factors about where this could set up, the two ones I'm going to tell you right now, which I've already stated. How much that upper level trough de-amplifies, that's one of them. And the second one is whether the models trend north due to there being no high pressure over here. So let's pull up the trough again. This trough, the Euro has it even further south in the first place, while de-amplifying as well. So the position of this trough is also important. But if this trough stays more curved, right, if it stays more amplified, then we will have a better chance of the storm being pressed further north, because the more amplification will allow the winds, the upper level winds, to push the storm further north. And then the second thing is obviously just seeing if that trend occurs. Let me show you the trend that happened yesterday. Let's pull up the OOZ run over here. So this is, let's just use it for Monday morning, or actually let's do Monday afternoon. Just watch where the storm moves over the day. That's actually probably not a good time to show you. Here, this is better. Watch from here. Watch this low pressure, north, and then pretty much just like consolidating north. This run over here, the 18Z run, was putting a lot of snow. Same thing with the OOZ run, putting a lot of snow over central and even increasing up to 4 to 6 inches in northern Jersey. But if that trend does not reverse from going south now, we're not going to see those high of totals. So yeah, as of now, I'm thinking the American model is a pretty good likely. Let's just look at these in the Kushera ratio real quick to have more accurate snowfall totals. I'm thinking Kushera wise, the Canadian and the American. I'm thinking the American looks correct because I have a feeling that this storm will trend north because of the plain fact that there is no high pressure stopping it from doing so. And because of that trend north, I'm thinking the highest totals are probably going to be over southern Jersey. I'm thinking south of Philadelphia, it would be 6 inches plus, just as this model is suggesting. And north of Philadelphia, really not much snow. Probably not any more than like 2 inches north of 78 is what I'm thinking at this time. This could definitely change. And as per school being off on Monday, because the storm is happening during the day, that's why I think there could be off. Wind won't be an issue, but just the plain fact this is happening during the day presents the opportunity for there to be a day off. Now I'm thinking that only if there is a winter storm warning over your area, there will be off. So this is the criteria of winter storm warning. North of Philadelphia, it's 6 inches in New Jersey, and south of Philadelphia, it's 5 inches. This is the key over here. You can look at your area and figure out what it is. So what I'm thinking is that south of Philadelphia probably will have a winter storm warning. It seems likely at this point. And the reason being that the temperatures will be cold enough for decent snowfall accumulations. That's why you saw the Kushera ratios are higher, because the lower temperatures making more efficient snowfall production. I think south of Philadelphia, 5 inches is likely. But how far south that 5 inches extends depends on how far north the low goes, right? Because so far we've only been talking about areas to the north, right? Around 78. How far north the storm goes determines how much more snow it could possibly get there. But as the storm progresses northward, that area of mixing that I was showing you before, let me pull up the GFS. That area of mixing will change as well. This area over here of mixing could move northward if the storm moves northward. So that's another thing to watch. All right, let's wrap this up with looking at the 18Z of the run of the GFS, because it is just in. So this is just the latest data right now. It just came in for the storm. So let's look at the low pressure over North Carolina. Has it trended really much? If anything, slightly further north, there is a trend, at least of the precipitation field. Not specifically of the low pressure, but of the precipitation shield. There is a slight northward trend, which definitely is promising if you're looking for snow in the northeast, and not the northeast. I mean in northern Jersey. Let's just look at what totals we're talking over here. Northeast. So this is the 12Z run from today. Let's look at the 18Z run from today. All right, there seems to be a slight shift northwards, is what I'm understanding. Let's pull this up real quick. Yeah, clearly a slight shift northwards. And does this slight shift continue? We're gonna have to watch and see over today and the next few days. That's something to watch. All right, guys, that'll be it for this video, and hopefully, if you enjoy the snow, it snows, and if you don't enjoy the snow, hopefully it doesn't snow for you. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you learned something today.